Hey folks, Scott Grove here from GroovyMusicLessons.com, the Doctor, Dr. Groovy. I was just talking to John over at Dillian Guitars. That's what I've got here. Now that's a great bolt-on access, don't you love it? And just talking to him about some people who call in with questions or complaints or what have you. And this video has been done a lot by me, a lot by everybody else. It's everywhere, but nobody gets it. And nobody will listen to my long rantings. So, people out there who actually ask a person they're going to buy a guitar from, you go down to wherever you're going to go, whether it be a Guitar Center or Sam Ash, and you try out a guitar and it's set up really well and it plays great. Most of you morons are not going to buy that guitar because it's set up and it plays great. You're going to go back home and order one online. And you're going to ask them, is it set up? That's the dumbest question you can ever ask anybody is it set up? It doesn't matter if it's set up. Not one flipping bit. If the guy answers yes, maybe he set it up at, where he's at. Whether it's a store or whether it's a single person. But just like John, again, with Dillian Guitars, he sets up, they all go to his house. And he sets up each and every single one of them. But once it leaves his house, it's all for naught. Okay? So if anything has been set up, when it gets to your house, it will not, cannot, and under any circumstances, unless it's made out of a man-made material, carbon fiber or what have you, it cannot and will not be set up, especially not to your standards. Thing is, they're wood, people, and there are things like temperature and humidity. Those are two different things, and they totally affect your guitar. And then you try to send them back because it's not set up at your place. I can go next door, leave this guitar after it's perfectly set up here, go set it next door, go play it tomorrow, and it will be so out of whack you would not buy the thing if you were to pick it up. Why? Because everything is different next door. Humidity, temperature. So every guitar that you keep sending back, this one happens to have a Groovy truss rod adjustment, probably needs a quarter turn on the truss rod and you're going to be fine. Everything else will be in place. Say you happen to use 12 gauge guitar strings on an electric guitar. They're not meant for that. If you want to do it, you have to specifically set up a guitar for such a thing because they are not built for that. Period. Gibson generally sends their guitars out with 10 gauge strings and Fender with 9s. And that's what they are set up for. That's what they're made to use. So again, next time you think that there is a problem with your guitar, that yes, it was promised to be set up, it probably was, but the reason it's not set up now is because you don't live where the guitar was set up at. Like I said, you can go next door, leave it, and it will be messed the hell up. If you go to a gig, you can pull it out of the case and it will be unplayable. You have to set it up there. So get that out of your brains. Learn how to do stuff. There's like 80 million videos here on YouTube to teach you how to do it. Again, that's why they send the actual truss rod adjustment to do it, because you're supposed to do it. Don't be afraid of it. It's there with instructions, and there's all us guys that try to help you set up your guitar. It's just a turn of a wrench, barely, and you'll be back in business. So quit sending guitars back because they're not set up, because they were and they will be back again. Let the guitar arrive at your house, let it acclimate, which means let it sit for a day or two before you even open the case. And let it get used to where it's going to be at, so that when you actually make a change, especially on the truss rod, and then you let it set for a couple more hours for that wood to actually get in its new position, that it will actually take place, because it will actually do so over time instead of immediately. Okay? So don't return guitars because they are not set up correctly. Do what you're supposed to do and set them up yourself. Okay? Later. Quit being stupid.